As many of you know, I'm Dr. Alejandro.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And we're on a mission to rebuild chiropractic one partnership at a time.
We help chiropractors open practices, revive failing ones, and step into their true calling. This is the Path to Victory podcast.
Recently, we've had a lot of chiropractors that are actually in practice right now reaching out to us on saying, what do we do and how can we help them? In other words, these chiropractors are not doing great in practice, or they're getting burned, and they're looking for an exit strategy or systems or a plan that can help them get to the next level. Mm-hmm. Recently, I spoke with a chiropractor. He was on the management group for years, and we're talking that it was a successful guy. He's late 30s, if I had to guess. And recently he reached out to me and said, hey, I exit the management company because, it was the same thing over and over. And I want to sell. I just want to quit the profession. I want to get a job. I could work from home remotely because I'm just not feeling it. And why was that? Is because that system from the management group just helps you to work Monday to Friday, how to work more and more and more. And new month, new goal. New month, new goal. So you're going to burn that way, correct? So he reached out to me and saying like, hey, I've seen that you've been acquiring practices. Can you acquire mine? Right now, sometimes we have people in place and we place them on those clinics. People that want to own a practice, recent grads that just graduated, want to own a clinic, we place them there. But right now, the situation that we're on, we don't have someone, like we call it on the dugout, ready to go because it requires a lot of training. We don't have anyone ready for a turnkey practice. Mm-hmm. So we politely decline. On the opposite, we have someone that wants to be a business owner, wants to stay on the profession, and he just needs that extra help to get to the next level and then have an exit strategy for himself while still owning the clinic for increasing the revenue, helping more people. That's what we're looking for. Those are the people that we like helping a lot because I like seeing the difference from making this to this amount, how the life changes. And that's what I love about it. And that's what happened in Lubbock. The chiropractor was helping people. Once we partner, he's never helped that amount of people.
Right. Yeah. So not only obviously making more money, making a better life for himself, but he's making a bigger impact in his community. He's able to see more patients because the model we have isn't work more hours, be in your clinic more. It's how can you maximize the time and efficiency that you're there? And we actually recommend them not working a full 5 days a week if we can help it, because sometimes it doesn't make sense either for the volume. But we wanted to talk about our model because we were getting a lot of questions about, well, what does Victory actually do? What is Path to Victory and so on? So we wanted this to just kind of be a foundational episode of what we do, who we are, and why we do it, and then just the kind of two models that we approach with. And so I wanted to go over our mission and what that looks like for us. So our mission is to equip doctors of chiropractic to help them create kingdom impact in their communities, have a successful practice, and help them change their lives through this idea of the business of chiropractic. When we go to school, we are really, really good practitioners. We're amazing at adjusting. We're amazing at looking at x-rays and so on, but we don't know how to run a business. So that's where we come in. This is where Victory comes in. We can give you all the systems, all the business techniques and so on, and strategy, how to run a business and be successful at it. Whereas you are just a doctor, you go in, you do your thing, you're the best doctor, and you're the best servant of your patients that you can be. That's our whole idea. Our core values, I did want to list those because I think it's important too. We have a go-getter mindset, entrepreneurial, we're business owners, we're business builders. So this idea of the older doc who's like, yeah, I'm done, I'm burnt out, I don't want to do this anymore, he's not going to be a good fit because he's done. He doesn't have the entrepreneurial mindset of there are highs, there are lows, but we're going to keep riding it, right?
And that's the first question I ask when we get on the phone because we don't coach. We're not coaches. We're not in that model. We're basically partners with people that want to be better. So the first question I ask him to the other one that reached out is do you still want to be a business owner? Mm-hmm. If he would have said no, I would man, there's no way I can help you. Exactly. I could guide you different ways, but I cannot help you. But when he said, yes, I want to be a business owner, it's okay, that's question number one. Let's go to the next question. So We're on the correct track there.
First core value, that's number one. You have to have that. Mm-hmm. You have to have that attitude, that spirit of, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to grind no matter what it takes, because that can't be taught. And that's one thing, that's why we look for that in no matter if they're coming out of school or if they're already a doctor. if they don't have that winning mindset, it's really hard to ingrain that in them. Number 2 is personal accountability, meaning you will take accountability for your actions, good and bad. So you're going to celebrate the wins. You're going to reward yourself when you have great months and so on. But also when you make a mistake and you mess up, you own it.
Correct.
Right? You take that responsibility, you take the accountability, and that's how we all move forward, right? We have extreme ownership and we believe in that. And that's one of our core values as well. Third one is mission over money. We are driven by the impact that we create, not the paycheck that we receive, right? Anybody can go and honestly, especially if you have a doctorate degree, you can go out and make 6 figures doing whatever, God knows what. But if you're not like waking up excited to go and change lives through chiropractic, it's going to be really hard to wake up and go to work every day. So that is one of our things. We are mission over money. We want to make a huge impact. Yes, we want you to make a lot of money. Yes, we want you to be successful because it changes your personal life. But beyond that, we want you to be able to change lives in your community too. Number 4, this is our core value, subluxation slayer, which means you have to strive to want to be a chiropractic samurai is what we say. You don't just want to be a mediocre chiropractor and just your standard rack and crack them and lay down and blah, 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 and you're doing the same thing to every single patient. You have to want to be a master at your craft. Otherwise, it's really hard. I feel like we can get caught up in like I don't really know why I'm doing this, or I'm just average, I'm mediocre, whatever. We want you to be a master. Number 5, you actually live the mission. And part of that with chiropractic, it's a lifestyle. Like, yes, we make certain decisions for our children about what we're going to put into them, what's going into their bodies as far as food and chemicals and medicine and so on. And that's a lifestyle. That's also something that it's hard to teach that, right? We can educate and we can inform, but at the end of the day, you have to live it. You have to live, eat, sleep, breathe this idea of a healthy, natural lifestyle. And that is one of our core values because it's really hard to talk with somebody who is not doing things that align with your lifestyle. And we're trying to be like, but this is how it's going to help you in business, right? Because when you're getting up at 5 a.m. and you're working out and you're fueling your body with healthy food and you're fueling your mind with healthy thoughts and you're surrounding yourself with people who are uplifting, it's hard to be unsuccessful at business. Like that, these are the things that are going to make the business better and grow you not only in your business, but as a person as well. And then lastly is just Christ-centered. That is a huge value that we have, but arguably could be number 1, but we have Christian values. We believe that Jesus is our Lord and Savior, and we want our doctors to share that value because that's how we serve our patients through that light and that love. So those are our core values, and I wanted to talk about how we go about accomplishing that. There's 2 models that we do, and I'm going to talk about the first one that you were kind of relaying about earlier with the older doc who reached out, and then the most recent, the younger doc who reached out. So one of the models that we have is that we partner with current chiropractors and basically do, I'll call it extreme makeover to their practice. And that doesn't mean their aesthetic or their build out or what color the paint is on the walls. That means we go in and we completely flip their practice to have our systems, to have our strategy, and to have our core values and so on. And so I wanted you to kind of talk about what that looks like when we partner with a doctor who's in practice, who's not thriving, but they still have that mindset of, I want to do better, I want to grow.
Yeah, it's how we mentioned it before, we bring them here, they see the system and everything. Then we have an app with all the videos and everything. They connect there and we have weekly meetings. At first, it's going to be like every other day meetings to get them on board. But yeah, in short words, we just basically change everything, change the whole system. We hire a new staff for them. If the staff is a rock star, we keep those staff and then we fly them here. We train them. But yeah, we follow with stats and everything. So we literally like have the numbers that they were doing, everything. And then like we have a new set of stats once we partner. And that way we could track everything, So it's pretty simple. It's like flipping a house. We flip an office. Instead of selling the house, we stay with the office.
Yep.
It's simple as that. Or if not, the second model is that we open from scratch. And in that one, people come here to train for a while, right? They come and train. We give them basically the whole blueprint. And then we go and open them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what is the difference of the blueprint versus the source? That's what I want people to understand. I don't mind giving the blueprint away. Like we give everything that we do away. Like literally day 1, day 2, what we look, what we're not looking for, what we avoid. We give everything away because we know without us, without the source, it's not going to get done how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So to get from point A to point C, you need the source. I'm giving you the blueprint, point A, probably to point B, if even, but with the source is literally point A to point C. So that's the difference of the blueprint versus just partnering.
I love that. I love that you mentioned that too, because we talk about this all the time. Like the management groups that we were in and the people that we surrounded ourselves with, like we had it. We had our day one, day two. We had systems, but we didn't have accountability. We didn't have somebody saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, or basically looking over our stats and being like, hey, something's not right here. Fix this. Like there was nobody to kind of check our work, this idea of like checks and balances. And so even if you have the books, the podcasts, the systems, the whole blueprint, it's hard to actually put that into action and implement it when you don't really know where to start. And this is where we come into play, because we're not coaches, but we are more or less like coaching you and strategizing on here's how you do that. And whether that's you're opening from scratch or we're going in and we're kind of changing your idea of this day one, day two, day three, you need somebody to course correct you on the way. When you're first getting your pilot's license in the air, you're not just like flying by yourself. They would never let you do that, right? You have to co-pilot, you're taking classes, you're doing simulations. Like that's what we are. We're coming along, we're taking your hand, we're guiding you on this process. And we're not just letting you throw these systems into something that you have no idea what you're doing or how it's going to end up.
Correct. Yeah. And all of our clinics, like we meet twice a year with staff and without staff, and we do a massive training. We have a training center, and we'll definitely keep talking about this. But definitely, if you guys have any question, please reach out to us, social media or via phone, and go to the website pathtovictorychiro.com. We have a weekly newsletter. We're not trying to sell anything because we don't have to sell anything, honestly. But we give great information that can help you in whichever stage of business you are.